Hi, Phil Ciccio here from Success Think. I wanted to talk to you about corporate culture, organizational culture, group culture, whatever you want to call it, right? What is the culture of your organization? What is the culture of your department or departments within departments or your organization as a whole? What is it? Because your culture is going to drive performance, and your culture is also going to drive whether or not your customers keep coming back or repeat business with you. And here's why: because your culture is what is defined as your group's belief, because culture is really just group belief, it's group habit. And so what is the culture that is being expressed throughout the people in your organization? Now, I don't mean what is the culture that you want, right? That's not what I mean. I don't mean what you've typed into your website that is the culture of your organization, what you want people to believe. I'm talking about the true culture that's in your organization. And the way that you find that out is if I was the first, if it was my first day working in your company or your organization, and I was meeting with some people and there are no managers around, maybe it's first break in the morning and I'm having coffee with the new team that I'm associated with, and I ask them simply this question. I say, hey, what's it like around here? Or what's leadership like around here? Whatever they tell me is the culture of your organization, or at least that department. And so it's important to understand this. It may not be true, but if it's true to them, that's the culture. And so have you ever figured that out? Have you ever, just asked yourself, what would people say if we asked them what it's like here? Because it doesn't matter what you think the culture is. What's important is what they believe it is, because whatever they believe, they will perpetuate in their reality. So let me give you an example of what I mean by this. If it's my first day on the job and I ask people, what's it like here? And they say something like this. They say, well, you know what? Leadership here, they don't really care about us. It's all about profit and it's not about people. Or they say, you know what, don't speak up in meetings because leadership doesn't want to hear what you have to say. As a matter of fact, you got to watch your back around here. You got to walk on eggshells. And, it's challenging around here when leadership's around. Everybody kind of clams up. Well, I have nothing to gauge that against or judge that by. So I'm a new guy here on the job. And so I just took what they believe and now I believe that. And so I go home this evening and my wife says to me, hey, what was it like at your new job? And I say to her, you know what, I asked some people and they told me that, leadership doesn't really, care about your growth. You've got to watch your back and you've got to walk on eggshells, and I shouldn't speak up at meetings and all these things. They don't care about your insight and they don't want you to be the smartest person in the room and all that stuff. And I just bought that. So the next day I come into work and I'm in a meeting. What do you think I'm doing in that meeting? Do you think I'm speaking up? I doubt it. I'm being really careful. I'm watching my back. I'm not saying what I truly feel. Okay? And so I am perpetuating the culture. Now, that may not be the culture that you believe exists in your organization, but is the culture that they have created through their belief. And now I've actually expanded that. And the same thing would work if it was my first day on the job and I said something as simple as, hey, what's it like here? They said, you know what? Leadership's amazing here. They want you to grow. They're engaged. They want to hear what your insights are. They're always looking for new ideas from their people. You know what? It's a really engaged and participatory environment. And at meetings, you can speak your mind. You can be totally honest. You can even tell leadership where you feel that they might be falling short. And now I go home that night and my wife asked me what it's like here, and I say that exact same thing. Leadership's really engaged. They're really participatory. They want to learn from us. They want to hear our insights. They want you to speak up at meetings. And then the next day I show up at the first meeting and I'm sitting there, and guess what I do? All unconsciously, without any thought whatsoever, I speak up at the meeting. I'm engaged, I'm participatory, I'm questioning things. I'm being the person that I expect to be based on what I was told that the culture is. And now I've just expanded the culture. And so culture is group belief. So if you don't feel that the culture in your organization is one conducive to growth and expansion and customer service and accountability, then what has to change is the belief of the people. Group belief must change. And so if you want to learn how to change group belief and change culture, reach out to me. Go to my website at philciccio.com or reach out to me at phil@philciccio.com, and I will help you understand how you change culture, how you go from a toxic environment or a negative environment to a really engaged and participatory environment, just by changing what's called the belief, or creating what's called a paradigm shift, where people believe one thing now and eventually over a period of time we get them to believe something else. They have a paradigm shift, and suddenly when somebody asks them what it's like here, they're telling them what you would want to hear them telling them. because I can promise you this: if you walk around your organization, your department, and it's not feeling the way you want it to feel, it's because of the way people, what they believe, even if it's not true. If you go back to my scenario where they told me to be careful and watch my back and you don't speak out because they don't like what you have to say and all those things, I believed that without ever experiencing it, didn't I? And now all of a sudden I'm watching my back and I'm not speaking out at meetings, and I'm perpetuating that reality. I'm actually living that culture without ever experiencing it. And most of your people have never experienced any negative culture, but they're living it if your environment is negative. And so if we want to change culture, we have to change belief. Okay? It's not about changing behavior, which is probably what most managers are focused on and trainers are focused on and HR directors are focused on. We're going to change their behavior. We can't change behavior by going after the behavior, right? That's like taking an aspirin for a headache, right? You're not really fixing what's causing the headache, you're just masking it. I don't want you to do that. In order to learn more, just reach out to me. Go to my website. Maybe there's a link right down here in this video, philciccio.com. Give me a call. I'd be happy to speak with you and help you change your culture for the better. Thanks for watching.